Uh-oh. My hat's acting funny. But who'd you talk to? What's going on? It's me. It's Mike Lepre. King Michael here at some sort of location where the weather seems odd and my hat wants to disappear. So excuse me for a moment as I adjust my hat. But it is legit fantasy basketball on a Thursday night. So with me as always, Brother Ray. Brother Ray, welcome to the show. How are we?
Pretty good. My Sixers are taking it on the chin, though. I'm not too happy.
Yeah, Ben Simmons can go screw a lamb, a sheep. You know what I mean? Ben Simmons, I hope a donkey. You end up in the stall with the horses and the donkeys, and one of them gets at you, buddy. You jerk. Joining us is always Coach TJ. Coach TJ, how are we?
Well, I was good until you called Ben Simmons a jerk. What did he do?
What did he do? He doesn't play. I'm in the goddamn fantasy playoff for the first friggin' time, trying to make the championship, no less. I get the best team in fantasy basketball, and I get a deal with the fact that I have both friggin' Sixer babies, and God only knows which one's going to play when, if they're hurt. Those two kill me. I hate it. I'm sorry, guys. I know you're Sixer fans, but out of all the duos in the NBA, those two are like, hey, come on. They're young. Put them in the goddamn game. Put them in the game.
Well, you know, Brother Ray and I have been on that. We've been on that ship all year. I mean, no one feels that pain more than we do.
Oh, yeah.
But
what's the point of having them?
You know, tonight you're on a 2-game losing streak. I don't know if they've had a 3-game losing streak all year. Now we're about to be on a 3-game losing streak, and you're not going to play tonight. Yeah.
You got to play tonight. You got to play. Is it officially he's not playing?
Simmons isn't. Embiid's in the game. Embiid's playing.
Embiid's playing.
Simmons not going to come in.
No.
Piece of crap, junk, garbage, jerk, douche. All right. Speaking about NBA and douches.
Hey, it must be LeBron time.
Here we go. Let's jump over to LeBron. That's what I wanted to start with because you know what? I've had enough of this shit. I really did. I stay out of stuff. I don't get involved. I don't get involved. But however, so LeBron shot a tweet out really fast. He had to take it down. Look, we all make mistakes. I actually forgive somebody for taking it down. You're forgiven if you realize you made a mistake. We all do. However, the mistake that he made was right after that. Again, I'm not political. Right after that girl was shot after she was trying to stab another girl, his immediate reaction was to post the picture of the police officer with the words that say, "You're next." And then he took it down. But even for the split second that he put it up, where were all the thousands of his minions that handle everything he does from his friggin' toast all the way to when he laces up to play the game? Where were these guys before he typed this? Like, they should have been like, right out of his hands. Because that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to do that. And you're the leader of the NBA, whether you want to be or not, kid. Whether you want to be or not, which has always been your problem, you've become the leader of the NBA, and you can't hold it on your shoulders. You just can't do it. You can't get the job done. You keep coming up with dumb thing after dumb thing. You're not Kyrie dumb. You're just dumb. TJ, your thoughts on Mr. LeBron James?
Well, the first thing is Kyrie's crazy. Kyrie's not dumb. Like, Kyrie went to Duke. LeBron James couldn't spell Duke if I spotted him 2 of the letters, okay? Let's not get it twisted about LeBron because he's rich and famous and popular and all this shit. He is a low IQ man. He is a small-brained, illiterate, unintelligent jackass. Here's a guy who did not go to college, probably couldn't pass 9th grade at any school in the country when he was actually in high school, but because they've been kissing his ass since he was like 12 years old, has never had to participate academically in life. There is no chance in hell LeBron James has read 100 books in his life combined. He comes from one of the worst school systems, one of the worst government school systems in America, in Akron, Ohio, where the ability to read and teach and think in that community is so low that his dumbass had to go open a school. So LeBron James trying to be some kind of aristocrat and talk about politics is like me trying to talk to a NASA engineer about how to get a moon landing. Okay, he's a fucking idiot is what he is. Now he comes out with this tweet, right? I hope to God that guy sues him to kingdom come, because when you have that kind of a media stretch as LeBron James, that many people following you on Twitter, and you go ahead and put up something that says you're next after somebody gets shot, that is 100% a call to violence. It's a 100% call for the mob that pretty much runs this country, these advocates and racists and scumbags, to go after this poor guy. And all this guy did was respond to a call and save somebody's life. And LeBron James, they don't like to hear shut up and dribble. Dude, shut up and dribble. Seriously, because you don't lack the knowledge, the intellect, or the baseline to be discussing politics, and you put this poor man's life in danger, and all he did was try and save somebody. That's me on LeBron James.
And Ray, what made it worse was his excuse when they asked him about it. He said, I didn't mean that guy. I meant the whole system in general. And I thought,
that's even worse.
Yeah.
Like when you lie, like just come out and say, you know what? And this is the truth is, he's a media mogul. He's a political activist, and sometimes he plays basketball. That's LeBron James right now. Media mogul, political activist, and a sometimes basketball player. He should have just came out and said, I didn't really look into things. I just made a snap judgment like 99% of the people on Twitter, and I doxed this guy and ruined his reputation.
Right. He wants to be. So Jim Brown is, I think, Jim Brown experienced all the shit that Jim Brown's advocated for in his lifetime. Like he dealt with segregation, and he dealt with separate water fountains. And when Jim Brown gets out there and he wants to say his piece, and he doesn't say much anymore, he's older now, but growing up, Jim Brown was like the voice of sports for the African-American community.
From Cleveland.
And Jim Brown done earn the right. LeBron James lives in a multi-million-dollar mansion and probably hasn't had any of his little posse disagree with him for 15 to 25 years. So he doesn't have the credibility of Jim Brown, although he thinks that's who he is. And with his social media reach, it's dangerous that a guy like him is doing this kinds of stuff. It's real dangerous. And the NBA should have suspended him, which they won't, because they're scared of him. Right? The NBA should suspend him, and this son of a bitch should sue him silly for putting him out there like that.
They can't sue. The NBA can't do anything to him because for fear that all the other players will side with LeBron and you won't have a game anymore. Because LeBron's the one, if you remember, who was the first to say, I don't think we're going to play. Remember last year he threw that whole, we're not going to play. Someone said it first, then he got caught in the middle of it. He wanted to look. Like
LeBron came out in defense of China, and Daryl Morey got pretty much run out of Dodge. Remember, just because LeBron's words carry that much weight. Now, if they have that much weight in the millionaire class with Daryl Morey, imagine what LeBron's tweet does to this poor innocent guy who's making $800 a week to protect his community.
He's ruined. He's complete, or he could be dead. God forbid. Like someone could attack and kill him. If Durant is going to get fined for what he did with Michael Rappaport, right? When they were going back and forth, he got fined for that. I don't understand why this would not produce a fine.
It should. It should be a statement fine. It really should. But it won't.
I don't quite get it because I'll be honest, and I'm gonna end up with this. When I was watching that, it cut to several people sitting in their political chair. It's all fake. It's all fake. Whatever channel you watch is all fake. But they all immediately went, well, maybe the cop should have shot it in the air and tried to scare the woman from stabbing the other one. It's like,
yeah, it's
what are we talking about? What are you, dumb?
We have in our culture. and it bleeds into sports, but we do have this thing in our culture where if someone is really, really good at one thing, they get credit for knowing about everything. Like, so you got a guy like, I don't want to go into politics, but he's the easiest example right now off my head. Anthony Fauci is good at infectious diseases.
Yep.
Now they're asking him about race relations. Those things don't go together. LeBron James is really, really good at basketball. What does he know about this freaking golf? You know what I mean? But we take the people who are the highest achiever in one field, and we think that that just means they're like some all-knowing Buddhist wizards, and it's just not the case. And when these NBA players speak out, man, they're getting close to the line. Someone's going to get hurt, and when someone gets hurt, the blood's going to be on their hands.
Do you remember what Charles Barkley once upon a time said? I'm not a role model.
Not a role model. Yeah.
I'm not a role model for your kids, folks. Like, don't listen to me. I'm just an athlete.
Republicans buy Nike too. That was Mike. Mike wasn't hearing this political stuff. He really wasn't.
Yeah. Michael Jordan stayed away from that completely.
Yep.
You want to watch somebody really not know how to deal with the system? Like, nah, I'm not saying anything. I'm not siding with anybody. You guys take care of that. I'm playing ball.
Yep. Count my rings.
So, all right, that's LeBron. I mean, he really like deeply upset me this week. Like, he was just like, dude, come on, LeBron. You know what I mean? Like, enough. Like, I've had enough of you. But so all right, I got a guy on my team that again, he's hurt, of course, because everybody's hurt on the 1 week you need him. But as of late, he's been a beast, and I wanted to just go over him real quick. That's Dort from
OKC.
Yep. Luguentz Dort. Going on the court and just throwing bombs, and then he gets hurt for like 3 or 4 games. Like, what's the deal with him? Like, is he going to be good? Because he looks like he could be really good when I watch him play.
Well, I gotta tell you, King Mike, as I was getting ready for my show prep, right? And I'm like, what are we gonna be doing on legit fantasy basketball? Luguentz Dort wasn't really on the top of my, like, oh, we're going to get to this guy tonight.
Really? All right. He had like 49 the other night, and then he's dropping like 30. He's like out of the blue scoring everywhere.
And I'll tell you what, he almost has like reminds me of Siakam, where he's just been given an opportunity right now, and maybe he's kind of making a name for himself. And I think it's good for Oklahoma City because the cupboard was so dry. We've been talking about it all year, how bad, and at least they got something now where it's like, okay, maybe this kid's got something where he can be a rotation guy in the future. I don't know if he's going to be dropping 40 on a regular basis, and he definitely should consider a name change. But he's tough. He's only 21.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's been fun to watch. It's like, you know, look, sometimes a player like him, that's what he really needed just to start like a really good career. There's an opportunity to be the man, and that's so hard to be in the NBA. But when you're on a team this bad and you get to drop 46, 29, you can get that role, and the next thing you know, you can convince yourself, I am good. And that's kind of half there, you know? So I don't know. Maybe you should have put him on the top of your list.
Luguentz Dort, I'm in. I'm all in on it.
He's you know. All right. Secondly, I have Russell Westbrook, and so I just want to discuss it again. Why is nobody talking about the fact that he's averaging a triple-double? Why? And we talked about this before, but just give me like more of a one-sentence why, because my son said it today too. He said, did he triple-double again? I'm like, yeah. Oh, like
he does it so much, he just puts people to sleep. I think everyone is just put to sleep by it, and it's just like the sun comes up, the moon comes out, the sun goes down. You know, like that's Westbrook. I mean, and that team's playing better right now. Washington, they've been playing pretty good lately. I mean, that's what he does. He is a machine. Like, say what you want about him. There are a lot of people who don't like him. Say he can't shoot. Say he can't do this. But triple-double. I mean, it's like a machine.
Is it the way he does it, TJ? Is it the way that he does it? Like, he'll push a teammate away to get a rebound? You've all seen that in a video. He'll be like, yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, he's going to get the one off the missed free throw. That's like a gimme.
Yeah. Tell people to stop.
But in an era where we're always talking about how some teams don't play hard and some guys don't play hard and guys, you can't count on them in fantasy because they might not show up. Russ shows up every single night and plays extremely hard. And I feel like I'm glad you brought it up. I feel like he's so underappreciated because we don't have a million guys in this league that show up and go balls to the wall every night. Like there's guys, I'll tell you right now, if Philadelphia had the same record as Washington, Tobias Harris is not going to be out there playing the way he's playing right now. Like Russ is on a bad team and he comes out every night and it's hard to get 11 assists. It's hard to get those, the 20 anybody can get at his talent level, but the 10 and 10, that's a lot of effort. And we're taking him for granted right now. We really are.
And he doesn't back down to anybody.
Nah.
I mean, I've seen him go after Embiid. He does not back down to anybody. And I respect that.
He should play with Kyrie. That would be fun backcourt to watch. Russell eat his breakfast. It'd be like a prison movie in the lunchroom where Westbrook walks by Kyrie and takes his grapes. Give me those.
So, all right. So we don't really value Russ as we should.
No.
Who are we overvaluing? Because I'm going to say one guy's name, and maybe it's just because I'm old, and I'm willing to bet that it is just because I'm old. But it's Ja Morant, as good as I keep getting told he is. Don't tell me about potential. Tell me about how good he is right now. Is he that good where like I really should stop just watching him play? Like I got to stop what I'm doing and go watch Ja Morant play? Because I don't know. I haven't been. It hasn't swayed me enough. My son's like, you got to go watch him. Why? Who's he better than? Someone please explain him to me. I mean, I know a little bit about him, but I want to hear more. Is what I'm saying.
Well, from a talent standpoint, he's super good, but he's not having a special year. The shine kind of came off from his rookie year. Like rookie year, I was like, holy shit, this kid's like legit. Right now, there's so many like great point guards in the NBA that he might be on the fringes of the top 10. And I think when he was new and exciting, it was much easier to hype him up. But no, I mean, he's an NBA point guard. He'll make a few all-star teams, but right now we're in a high times for point guards right now, and he's just not there with that group. And the other night he was getting credit for trying to throw himself an alley-oop and missing a dunk. Did you see that play?
And
instead of making the pass, he threw it off the backboard and tried to dunk it. I don't know. But there's a lot to his game to like. He'll make some wild plays every single night. But right now, when you're looking at the state of point guards in the NBA, he's on the fringes of the top 10.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Coach there. I mean, he's good, but he doesn't make that team special. And he's not on a great team, and I understand that. But you know what? When Chris Paul played for the Clippers, I know who Chris Paul was. I saw his highlights, and we knew who he was because his level of play was just here. I just feel like Ja, he had a great rookie year, but he has not raised his game. He has not taken that and doubled that and made the progression that an NBA elite superstar needs to do. Now, he could do that in his third year. We don't know.
Right. He was hurt earlier in the year, Brother Ray. He was hurt, and he missed some time, and maybe he just didn't get into the flow of the season.
That could be it, too.
I'd like to give him the benefit of the doubt, but no, he hasn't put it up. He hasn't performed.
Well, all right. What about DeAndre Ayton?
Playing great right now. He's playing fantastic right now, Ayton. I mean, he's like one of the best centers in the league right now.
Well, not tonight. He's getting run around tonight, but he's going to be a consistent like 15 and 10 guy for the next 8 to 10 years.
But not a superstar.
No, I don't think he's got enough ball skills to be a superstar, but right now, I mean, he's the best big man on one of the top 2 teams in the West, and Phoenix is losing to Boston right now, but he's a massive man that knows who he is. You know what I love about Ayton is he's comfortable being what he is. Mm-hmm. He's not a big guy that's out here trying to shoot threes and no, I'm the biggest guy on the floor. I'm the strongest man in the building, and he plays like that. And don't forget, Chris Paul is going to give you 6 points a game just by being Chris Paul. So that's helping because I don't really think he's a 15-point-a-game scorer right now, but he's going to be a 10, 12-year pro if he stays healthy. And he's been good and quietly under the radar too, but he's been very good.
He's a low post bully that he's like a throwback in the way he plays.
So, all right, I want to get the 8:30 game in real quick because it's about to go off. Detroit at San Antonio. San Antonio's favored by 7. I say take San Antonio in a heartbeat -7. Detroit sucks.
Yeah, yeah. I'm going to take the Spurs too. I mean, Detroit's the easiest team right now to bet on. You just bet on who's taking them. They're not going to cover. I think they're like 2-13 in their last 15 against the spread. It hasn't been good. They just look bad. And the Spurs, I'm bored with them, but they compete.
Detroit has so many injuries. I think there's at least three starters that are sitting tonight. So it's really like their second team's going to be taking the floor. So I love San Antonio.
Then you go update. DeRozan and Mills and Murray are not playing for the Spurs. This is going to be an ugly game.
I would probably stay away. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I didn't know that was happening. Thank God.
That helps you, King. You're going against DeRozan.
No, all right, good. Sit him down. Listen, Chicago is playing at home against Charlotte. Chicago's only favored by 1 at 9:00. I love that game, but there's obviously something wrong because I love that game. I love Chicago to cover by 1 at home. Love it.
I mean, well, Chicago played last night and got blown out by Cleveland.
Yes, they did. And
that's strange because we didn't have a show, but I would have going into the game. I'm thinking Chicago. This is a win for Chicago. They look good in their last couple games. They beat Boston. They looked like shit like no one gets blown out by Cleveland. So it's a tough one. I'm probably inclined to take the Hornets.
I love when a team comes off a blowout though. They'll play better. They'll play better after a blowout than they will like a real big win, in my opinion.
It's still a back-to-back, though, so you got to factor that in there somewhere as well. So, yeah, to me, we'll disagree on that one, see who wins.
I think the last time they played, I want to say it was at Charlotte. Chicago won by 13. And I know Chicago was trying to play for a playoff spot. They still have a chance. So I think this might be one of those games where Chicago wants it more than Charlotte. I'll go with Chicago in this one.
All right. Finally is the Lakers at Dallas. Dallas by 3. I'll tell you to take Dallas by 3. I like the favorites. What are you going to do? TJ?
Yeah, I tend to agree. LeBron's not going to play tonight. He's going to try and learn how to read a law book. So he's going to be busy. He's not playing. Drummond, Gasol, and Schroeder are all questionable. I like Dallas. I think Dallas is going to win the game. Hey, don't look now. Dallas is creeping up the standings, like approaching the Lakers right now. It's crazy. How far?
Right?
Anthony Davis is back tonight. I will say that for the Lakers. That is a plus for them. Dallas hasn't been playing that well lately, though. They've lost a couple of tough games. I'd probably go with Dallas because I think they're going to bounce back, but Davis is definitely going to help them. It's going to be curious to see as these pieces start to come back for the Lakers, what their strategy will be. We know what they're going to do. They're going to just, they're going to milk it until they get to the playoffs. And hopefully they'll have all their pieces there.
Pick and roll. All right. And then, I wanted to update you guys. There's the newest update on CBS.com says LeBron says NBA is simply better off when the Knicks are winning. Why is that a quote? He said that the NBA is simply better off when the Knicks are winning. First of all, they haven't been winning since he was in diapers. Second of all, you're trying to tell me that it's better off when the team from New York is winning for money and revenue?
Groundbreaking things right there.
Is he the commissioner now? Is LeBron the commissioner of the NBA now?
Yeah, whatever LeBron says. So now it's better. So now I got to root against the Lakers and the Knicks because he said that. But no, it is actually factually correct. The NBA is better when the Knicks are winning. It is factually correct. Maybe this is just a way for the powers that be in the media to get a new LeBron quote out there so people can maybe forget about this morning.
That's a dumbass quote.
Yeah. Someone asked
how about the NBA's better when LeBron shuts up?
Yeah. Oh man. All right. So I'm gonna switch it over to this. So do you think that the winner of this year's NBA playoffs will be somebody other than the top two teams.
Yes.
Where's it going to come from? Where's the best chance for it to come from? In other words, take out the Lakers, take out both sides. Who you think would be, take them out of the equation. Tell me who's next. Who could win it? Who can surprise me and win it from the middle of the pack?
Oh, you said top two teams. You didn't say middle of the pack.
I said anybody but those top two teams.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're looking at the top two teams right now in the East, it's Philly. So I think definitely Brooklyn or Milwaukee would come out of the East, and in the West, it's Utah. I think Phoenix and the Clippers can come out of the West, and maybe the Lakers. I think the semifinals are going to be really telling when we get down to those final 8 teams. It's going to be super competitive basketball. But as far as I think I know where you're going, King Mike, about like a sleeper team kind of type deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Dallas, I feel like Dallas can get hot, and I feel like Miami still has the roster that they had. I mean, they had the roster that we were talking about earlier in the year as being the best team in the East. So they haven't lost anybody. It's just they haven't produced. Miami could get hot. Spoelstra's a terrific coach. Jimmy Butler could somehow turn into a healthy and consistent Jimmy Butler again. Miami could be a team that you get long odds on that could pay off.
It's just going to be really tough for the play-in teams. Like in a traditional year, it's easier, but with these play-in teams, it's going to be tough for someone to rise from that and just overcome all that to get it to the finals. It's going to be tough.
No, I hear that. I'm just, I don't like I don't like the way the Lakers are built this year. I just don't like the whole way that it's working. I really like Utah. I really believe Utah is the team from the West, and I think in the East, I'm hoping I get the Giannis versus Embiid type Simmons. I want that matchup to be the finals for the East, and I think coming out of it would be the Sixers. So I'm of the opinion that both top teams are going to be the teams in the championship. I like those teams the best.
I'll tell you who I'm going to be rooting for. I'm going to be rooting for Phoenix. I would love to see Chris Paul.
One team watch, yeah.
You get to a point, I think all sports fans do, where if it's not going to be your team, then let's find the veteran who deserves it. I feel like I'm there with Chris Paul. It would be a really great story if he could drag a team like Phoenix, who was in the basement for so long, go to Phoenix, bring them to the finals. That would be a really good story and just put a cherry on top of his Hall of Fame career. So if it's not going to be Philly, I hope it's them. Utah's Utah, Mike.
I know. No one's, like we said before, you would never buy the video game. Utah versus Milwaukee. No one wants. But
let's hope. I mean, let's be honest. I just hope it's not Brooklyn and the Lakers.
Oh my God, that's awful. Look, I think actually, and I know this is going to sound corny, but I think for kids that might end up tuning in for the finals, that if the Jazz were to make it, that would be beneficial for them to watch. That would be a better game. They would get a better experience out of watching that game. Then, like you just said, what I would call the Sprite Challenge, the Nets versus the Lakers. It seems prepackaged, already done.
I wonder if the Nets Lakers would feel like an NBA Finals or feel like an All-Star game.
Yep. That's what I mean.
Will it be because the Nets, if they make it to the finals, everybody who's ever spent airwaves talking about chemistry and the importance of chemistry and all that shit, it goes right out the window because apparently you don't need chemistry because they can't possibly, if they all came together now, they still can't play enough games to have chemistry. And I wonder if that wouldn't just feel like an all-star game with all kinds of stuff going on. They're all buddies. They all played within against each other, recruiting each other and whatnot. And then we're just going to be treated to bullshit until the last 4 minutes, and then somebody tries to win.
Yeah. I mean, Utah, Milwaukee would be the best thing for I'll be LeBron James right now. Utah, Milwaukee would be the best thing for the NBA right now. because of the way those two teams are made up and the way they play. The way they both play as teams, not all-stars, not media moguls and individuals, selfish individuals. Both those teams would be the best thing for young kids to watch in the NBA Finals, I think.
Yeah, the best and the worst we just mentioned, in my opinion. I think the best it would be what you just said, Brother Ray, and the worst would be what Coach TJ said. Those are the best and worst, in my opinion, back to back. All right, so another topic I would hope to be schooled on. The last of the big men. I want to talk about big men in this sense. Giannis doesn't play like a big man. All right. He doesn't play like a big man. He can play. He plays like any man. You know, he can play any position. Seems like
freaking point guard.
Yeah,
he is the point guard. He brings the ball up the floor every time. To me, that is what the point guard does.
Yep, I know. So, all right, but last of the big men, top, I don't know, 3 to 5 big men left in the NBA that play big. Big men that play big, that don't play like they don't. In other words, they don't turn around and front the guy and, you know what I mean, beat him off a dribble at the top of the key, for Christ's sakes, and then dunk. Like, who still plays like a big guy, and what are our top 5 big guys?
Ray, you want to start?
Embiid's got to be there. I mean, you got to put Embiid. I think he kind of reminds me when he's on. He reminds me of Shaq, where the teams just you can't get him off the spot, and he just pushes his way in, and he's got that quickness in that first step. He manhandles teams. Like, he physically manhandles and beats them down. So I think he's got to be on that list for sure.
Yeah, I agree. He's definitely the top big man in the game right now. And as much as he'll take 2 or 3 threes a game, he plays like a big man. Like, the basis of him is not to square up and beat you off the dribble. He gets it in the pivot, then he squares up, and then you follow him when he's going through his motion, because you just do. Andre Drummond is still an effective big man, and he plays like a big man. I feel like we've lost the guys who catch the ball with their back to the basket and do post moves in the sense. But what we have in Drummond is a guy who stays in his lane. You know, he rebounds, he blocks shots, he sets screens. He is effective when he catches the ball in the right spot. So Drummond is not a lot of guys like him, but he's still there.
All right. Ray. Another one.
I mean, I really want to put Davis in there, but he really lately he doesn't really play like like that old school, big 5. I would put Rudy Gobert there, though. I think the way he plays and the physical nature that he has. If you're talking old school, I think I would put him on that list.
Agreed. Totally.
I got 2 to add. The first one is Nikola Vucevic. He's an effective shooter. He's more of a big man in like maybe the Bill Laimbeer mold of the way he has a little bit of perimeter game, but he's definitely a post player. He's a big, strong, physical kid. He's a double guy. And the good thing for our league, he's young. Like he's not on the back 9. Like, he's going to be an effective guy for a while. And then one guy that always comes to mind, and if he was born in order to play in the 80s, Enes Kanter would have been a great player in the 80s. Enes Kanter has great hands, great footwork. His points per minute, if you looked at his points per 36, I guarantee you it's over 20. And he averages double-figure rebounds. I can assure you, if Kev was here, he'd be able to pull that up quicker than I can. Enes Kanter, when he's in the game, is good at basketball. The problem is, with all of the 5-out offenses and all the pick and roll, he just can't defend. But he can't defend at that level to play a lot of minutes. But Enes Kanter has, great old school ball fakes and footwork, et cetera, et cetera. So I really like his game.
You know what? You're making me want to cry here. I got to be honest. I'm almost in tears right now because I'm losing in this goddamn fantasy basketball game, the playoffs. And my 3 centers, my starting center and my 2 people that you have that can play any position, are literally Joel Embiid, Enes Kanter, and Nikola Vucevic. All three of them, we just talk about how great they are, and I'm still friggin' losing. Like, I got Dort, for Christ's sakes. I have Dort. We're not doing, right? I should have won last year, and I can't stand the NBA in this sense. They get hurt. They're not hurt. The week starts, and all of a sudden you find out that they are hurt for the whole fucking week, and you already have them locked in, and there's nothing you can do to change it. Fantasy basketball, Ray. Why? This is why I find it tough. This is why I find it tough to give people advice on fantasy basketball, because it's all about knowing who's going to play Monday morning. It's all about knowing who's going to be there because your team locks. Our team's locked at like what, noon on a Monday?
No, right. Game time, 7 o'clock on a Monday night.
7 o'clock Monday night.
Can't you change the settings in the future, because we do live in a different world than we did 5 years ago in terms of guys playing games? Can't you change it so you do your lineup daily?
We did talk about that option. It was
and then
not
people dropping guys, adding guys. Yeah, they would drop a guy, add a guy, drop a guy, add a guy, just so they'd have more people playing.
Oh, all right. So they were trying. That's not the spirit of the rule right there. That's just beating up on the rule. I get it.
Yeah, they were beating up on the rule. So now we're stuck with this shit where, like I said, I had this team ready, locked in, and then now everyone's hurt. It's like, oh, you're kidding me. They weren't hurt before, and then, you can't do nothing. You got to sit there and just watch the week go by, and you have guys not playing. Disgusting.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'm in the same semifinals in the same league. We have 16 people on a roster, 8 injured.
That's
half. That's half.
And I bet you right now, out of those 8 injured, there's really maybe a guy with a real injury.
Right.
That's
Lowry, rest, Valanciunas, concussion. I mean, I don't know. Whatever. It just, it goes on, and what are you going to do?
I don't know. That's why I find it so hard to fantasy is the toughest in my opinion because of that rule that we have. But then secondly, when I'm betting games, coming down with the free throws, it's the toughest game to bet. Some games they just get milked at the end and the spread just gets destroyed. It gets eaten up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. What do you think? Like, I find basketball to be harder than football, harder than baseball, like harder than a lot of these sports to bet. That's my opinion.
No, it really is, because you can score so many points in bunches. Like the end of an NBA game, I bet you somebody must do this. Certain coaches will take, okay, we got to lead by 8 with 2 minutes left. We're sitting on the ball. And then you got other coaches that'll like play through. And then you got other coaches that are like, I'm going to empty my bench and whatever happens, happens. Here comes Scalabrine. So you really never know how that last 2 minutes is going to go. You're almost the safest bets, while the most difficult to pull the trigger on, when you have 2 good teams playing at full strength and it's a push. Like when you get into these 8-point spreads, the difference for an NBA coach of winning by 9 or winning by 6, it doesn't make a difference. And they play it accordingly. It gets challenging.
I agree. Right?
Yeah, I mean, there's no, at the end of the year, it's not going to matter if you beat the Lakers by 6 or by 4, whereas in football, that can come back to haunt you at some point differential. There is no point differential in the NBA. So, I mean, this year I think was probably the worst case because you had your normal injuries, your rest days. We've talked about that per nauseum. Every week we talk about these rest days and COVID. So, I mean, it was the perfect storm for BS basically on a weekly basis.
And then you had the schedule condensed, which gives GM coaches even more reason to do some miscellaneous resting.
Back to back, nonsense.
Extra back to backs, extra weeks with 4 games. It's tough sport to bet on. It is not for the faint of heart.
All right. So before we get into looking at the games for tomorrow night, I just wanted to take an aside on this. It's a different sport, but the last time I bet on baseball, I went 9 out of 10. I hit actually one. It was like 5 out of 5, but I missed one that was like bigger than that. So far tonight, I picked a 3-teamer. No, I'm sorry, a 4-teamer, and then another 4-teamer. I won with the D-backs. I won with the Pirates. I have the Yankees in that, who just took the lead, and then I have the Cubbies, who are up by 3. Oh, last night I went 3 for 3, hit a small parlay, and went 4 out of 5 and lost. Went 7 out of 8. I've been killing baseball because I'm watching what they have for rest and what the pitcher has for rest. That's all that I'm doing, is trying to see, did they play yesterday or did they not? Did that guy pitch on like 4 days, 5 days? How long has it been since he pitched? If it's too long, I go bet against him. If it's too soon, I bet against him. That's what I've been doing. I picked a better pitcher, and I bet against him or I bet with him.
Well, it's a wonderful strategy right now, but just so you know, during the real baseball season, when it actually starts, when the weather gets nice, every team plays 6 games a week, so everybody played yesterday. That's usually how baseball is. So right now, early in the year, there's a lot of days off on the schedule. So just keep that in the back of your mind that might not be something you can lean on. But baseball is definitely more predictable than the NBA. And you're really always picking just the winner. That's why the NBA is hard, because the money lines in the NBA, you can do them. You don't get great odds on them now. Major League Baseball, though, 9 out of 10, and then you don't come to legit fantasy baseball to brag about it. That was shocking to the legit fantasy universe, because I'm like, I knew it. I couldn't wait for you to come on. And 9 out of 10, I don't care what you're betting on, man. That's hard to bet.
I've been on a stretch with that. I'm telling you, that's the system I'm using, and I'm sticking to it, like you said, until it changes. When that changes, I'll try to figure out how to change with it. But all right, let's can anybody pull up the spreads for tomorrow night's games, or do you want to talk amongst yourselves and give me a second to do it? Because I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, Ray, let's talk about amongst ourselves right now, because Philly just cut this thing to 9.
All right, so what?
Yeah, I'm watching that right now. I mean, you know what? I give him credit for coming back. And Milwaukee's a tough team. We've talked about this. They're playing well right now. I mean, they got everybody back. Everyone's healthy. They're definitely going to be a tough out in the playoffs.
They are, and that's why that 1 seed is so important. And we're kind of losing our grip on it with this little losing streak we're on. Because if you end up in the 2 seed and after the year Phillies had, if they end up in the 2 seed and they lose to Milwaukee before the Eastern Conference Finals, it's going to feel like a disappointment.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not what they want. It looks like Tobias is having a good night. 14 and 5. Curry's doing pretty well. 11 points, double digits. George Hill, I think, started tonight too. So it's weird that he started. I know they sat Shake. Shake was coming off the bench, but Shake's got 11 points. He's another guy. Like, when he gets the minutes, he fills the stat sheet.
And I can't understand Danny Green, another night, 16 minutes, 1 shot attempt, no points, and a -18 plus minus. Can we not just make that Shake spot or Thibault spot? What is he doing out there?
I would platoon both those guys in his spot. Seriously, platoon both of them. You get the steals and the defense from Thibault and get the offense from Shake.
I mean, Danny Green should be playing like almost third unit minutes. Like, he doesn't do anything when he's out there. I don't want to hear about what a experienced vet he is. You can't be out there, especially if Simmons, Harris, or Embiid are not playing. You can't have another guy giving you 0 out there. It's really bad. I don't know. I know Doc likes his veterans, and he's done a good job. But come on, man.
I think that's the issue. The Doc, you know how he is with the veterans, and it's almost like he's going to keep pushing him out there. But at some point, someone's going to take him aside and say, how are you going to beat, Milwaukee in the playoffs when this guy's getting 0 points for you?
So Milwaukee's 5 starters tonight are all in double figures. And that's just a quick look at the box score, but we can't have guys out there putting up 0s.
No.
And it's bad enough Simmons putting up 9 or 13, but 0 points. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Can't win in, like,
I bet the Celtics and the Sixers tonight. So
Are you getting how many points you getting with the Sixers?
the Sixers. No, I
8,
bet them
I
out
think.
to win.
Uh,
I bet the teams to win.
I think
All
we're
right.
getting 8, the Sixers tonight.
They'll be close on the cover. They got another run left in them.
I don't like. I thought. All right. I want to go over just tomorrow's spreads. Like I think we got 6, 7 games. So this should be easy. Ready? 7. First 2 games at 7:30. We got the Celtics at the Nets, and you know what? They won't show me the spread for that one, or they won't show me the Heats at the Hawks. So you get Heat at the Hawks, and you get the Celtics at the Nets. I guess what? Would the Nets be favored at home against the Celtics? We guess.
You would think so, especially with Boston playing tonight and getting a win against Phoenix. I'll be rooting for Boston hard tomorrow, though. I'll tell you. Pains me to say it.
I know it. And then what about the Heat and Hawks? That just seems like what? What do we got?
No Trae Young. No Trae Young tomorrow. So I don't know. I probably have to see what that spread is. I may be leaning towards the Heat with no Trae Young.
Yeah, for sure. Trae Young's the engine that, he's the engine of that Atlanta team. So, and Miami needs the game. To me, Miami's going to be favored, and I'd probably be tempted to take them, given the points.
All right. We got a game at 8 o'clock. 3 games at 8 o'clock. We got Clippers at Rockets. Clippers are favored by 11.5.
Hate that. I hate those big numbers, but I also hate Houston. I'll take the Clippers.
Wow. Right?
Yeah, I'd have to take the Clippers. I mean, I can't, in good conscience, take Houston. They're just too bad. They're just that bad.
At home.
Last time they played the Clippers, beat them by over 15, though. So, I mean, the Clippers handled them last time.
What about Kawhi? Is he playing?
He
can't play tonight.
He should be playing tomorrow.
What if he doesn't and the spread stays at 11.5? Would you sneaky take it, or would you still stay with the Clippers?
Yeah, I'd still stay with them.
Wow. The Rockets are that bad, huh? You think? Where they can't cover, they can't keep a 12-point spread at home.
Name them. Name 5 Rockets.
I can't. I could probably actually name real Rockets made by metal. True. But like, can they be that? 12 points at home, it hurts. It really hurts. All right. Cavaliers at Hornets. It is a bang-up game. I like the Cavs. I think there's a couple of shooters there. The Hornets, however, are favored by 1. I don't know why. I like Cleveland in that game. TJ?
Yeah, it's interesting. I like Cleveland too. Yep, I'm with you.
And then Ray?
Yeah, I have to go with Cleveland. I mean, I like Charlotte. I like what they've done this year. I like some of the pieces they have, but
they're not there yet.
Not there.
By the way, the over-under is the lowest one I've seen in a long time. It's 209 for that game. That's low. Now, Wizards at Thunder. Wizards are favored by 9. That's a tricky game.
It is, because you know the Wizards stink, right? But they won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of their last 9.
They're playing well.
And Dort might play tomorrow.
They really are. 9's still a lot for me to give with a team like them, but yeah, I'm gonna give it. They beat the Thunder by 12 like 3 days ago. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
How about this? I'm gonna say that you check to see if Dort is in the lineup tomorrow. Because if Dort is in the lineup tomorrow, I think the Thunder beat them. I don't think that Washington covers by 9. Depends.
That's what NBA betting has come to now. That's really what NBA betting has come to now. If Dort is in the game, you lay the money down.
Is that crazy?
You got to do what you got to do. I'm just saying what I'm saying, you know? All right. Nuggets at Warriors. Nuggets favored by 3. That's going to be a great game, huh?
It is. That's going to be one of those fun West Coast games at night. Like, that's the ESPN game. That'll be a fun one to watch if you can stay awake for it.
Yep.
Yeah, I like Denver. I like Denver in the game. Yep.
Right?
I like Denver. Golden State has been playing well, though. I'm telling you, they are close to being back. They're very close. I mean, they don't have Clay, but they're close.
All right. The last game would be Grizzlies at Trailblazers, and they do not have a spread for that game yet.
I mean, Portland's on a 3-game losing streak. They've lost 5 out of their last 6. I don't know what the problem is. Portland's got the best backcourt in the league, but there's something not right there. Unless you're getting points, I mean, like a lot of points, because the Portland's going to be at home. Yeah, I like the Grizz.
I'm going with the Grizzlies right now. I think Portland needs to make a coaching change or figure it out. I mean, they make that great trade at the deadline, and now they're just completely laying it. They're laying eggs. I don't get it.
And you know what? 3 of their last 4 losses were by 1 point. So to me, those can go either way, right? But you have Dame Lillard, so you think you'd be winning the close games. They either have an execution problem or a whiteboard problem to me, because you shouldn't be losing 3 straight games by 1 point. It's almost a coin flip. You got to win a couple of them.
At least.
Yeah.
Hold on one second, guys. I'm trying to get a hold of Genius Kev to see if he's alive, for Christ's sake. I haven't heard from him. Guy, question for you. Greatest basketball movies of all time in your mind when you think of basketball games, movies. Do you think of Hoop Dreams, Above the Rim? Wait, I'm going to get there. That's obviously one you think of. But I'm trying to think of the other ones that are basketball game movies, but do you think of them, right? Glory Road, Eddie with Whoopi Goldberg, Blue Chips with Nick Nolte, and Shaq was in that one. Teen Wolf's technically a basketball movie. White Men Can't Jump's a basketball movie. Sunset Park, Air Bud.
Coach Carter didn't make whatever list you're looking at. Coach Carter?
Coach Carter. Yeah.
I'm not getting there yet. Like, these are the ones, all right, these are the ones that are all basketball movies, but I don't even think of them. The ones I do think of are Coach Carter, Hoosiers. What's the third movie?
Space Jam?
Yeah, but I don't know if I make that 3. There's gonna be a movie that comes in third after those 2, right? It's gonna be like Above the Rim was really good. That was.
That's the one I watched more than all the others. Is Above the Rim. I loved Above the Rim. Like, I really, really like regular rotation growing up, and then followed by Hoosiers. Coach Carter kind of new to the scene, so I'm an adult. I've seen it a few times. It's entertaining.
Blue Chips was good. I like Blue Chips with Nick Nolte.
And White Men Can't Jump is good, but it doesn't hold up over time. So that was up. That was on like I don't know, maybe in the fall or maybe during whatever the shutdown. And I tried to watch it because I wanted to like it, but it just didn't hold up to it didn't age well.
Yeah, but Teen Wolf did.
Well, Teen
Wolf, right.
And that is one of the greatest ending basketball scenes you'll have.
Bill Simmons wrote a column where he watched Teen Wolf and he actually put up the box score of the game. I'm going to produce that box score so you can know the stats. But Bill Simmons actually did that in one of his columns, and it was awesome. A wicked enjoyable read.
How good did Chubbs do?
I don't remember, but the had a night.
Chubbs hit a skyhook. He grabbed rebounds. The best was, you know, when you watch a movie and you get to see somebody do something and you go, they don't play basketball. They've never played ball in their lives. But I guess the whole thing was for Chubbs to get a rebound. And the ball just comes right to him and he goes, what the fuck are you grabbing, dude? Who
hugged it? Yeah.
It's like a Venus flytrap, but with a Chubb on it. Like, and then Marty, he was good with he'd do the give. He'd go around Chubbs, he'd get the ball, and he'd take that layup. And friggin' what is his name? Michael J. Fox. He had the ugliest layup I've ever seen. It would get caught between the rim and the backboard. Have you guys ever seen it? It wouldn't go like backboard in. It would go like here, roll a little bit, and fall. Michael J. Fox, he's jumping and shooting layups underhand. when he's shooting it, when they show him shoot the free throw and they kind of pan back so they let you see a shooting motion. Charlie Sheen looked great playing an athlete. Like when Charlie Sheen pitched in Major League, I was like, hey, Charlie Sheen can pitch. Michael J. Fox could not play basketball.
Mike King, one movie that we need to talk about is, remember the guy that they used to compare you to? Bobby Benson? All the way up with a Red Hot Poker was the line of the movie.
Yeah, I don't remember the movie though.
We need to look that one up.
He was it was a basketball movie?
It was a basketball movie, right? He was
Robbie Benson.
Robbie Benson.
Do you know who that is, TJ? Is an actor back in the 70s. He's a little kid. All I was told is that I looked like Robbie Benson.
One-on-one.
My face looked like Robbie Benson. It's not now, but people, oh, you look like Robbie Benson. You know
One-on-one.
Nobody cares about.
Now I got to look up a guy.
The movie's One-on-One.
Is that the name of the movie?
Yes. 1977.
There you go. Back when me and Ray both Brother Ray loved this movie that we didn't think existed after a while, but then I found that it did, was I'm gonna look it up. Super Fuzz.
Yes.
With the cop who had superpowers unless he saw the color red. Super Fuzz. We thought that we were just going crazy, that we remember a movie that didn't exist, but now we found it.
Maybe you do. I do appreciate that the kid in this movie here, One-on-One, wore gold at home like the Cougars used to. So yeah, I do appreciate gold at home. Yeah.
You know what? I'll tell you what. Playing for North Providence, I actually got to be there when Ernie pulled us off the court. That is my craziest basketball memory ever. Because what had happened was this: Ray Corsini was high on the free throw. His job was to box out the shooter, right? So, and Ray ended up being the kid in my band. He's the guy we've known all our lives. But so the kid shot the first one, and Ray ran to him and pushed him and boxed him out, and hit him at the line. They called a foul on Ray, saying like Ray ran, and Ernie's yelling at him. Like Ernie starts yelling at the refs, like he's boxing out. He's boxing out. How can you? And so he tells Ray to do the same thing on the next time because he kicked a foul again. And Ray did it again, and the referee called a foul on Ray again. And Ray turned to start arguing with the ref. And the next thing I know, Ernie's lost it. I'm on the bench. I'm waiting to go in. Like it's right around Lepre time. Like I knew it was right around the time when he's gonna put me in. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right. And what happens? He gets up. He's screaming. He turns and he goes, "Get on the bus." And we're like, what? It's third quarter. It's just like in the middle of the third quarter. Get on the bus. JV's all up in the row behind us talking to the cheerleaders. Or whatever. Get on the bus. We have to make the most sheepish walk to the bus as we're being booed and going down at us, like as if we're in a movie. It's like, what's going on? And I'm mad even more than everybody else because I haven't gotten the game yet. Like I get in the game in the first half, right? But the second half, man, put me in. Like I didn't get a chance to touch the floor because,
Ernie pulled you guys off.
He was unbelievable to deal with because Kev played with us. He would practice. We would practice, right? There would be the first string team, and then he would make me be the point guard of the second string team, and he would be on that team. And he would call for the ball. He was always open. I'd come over the half. At one point, I actually had to say to my own coach, "Hey, coach, shouldn't we be learning stuff?" I swear to God, I had an argument with him.
We know he can shoot. Like we all know he can shoot
from anywhere. I mean, his range anywhere in the half court area. I don't care. His range was money, and he could still flip the ball behind his back, like literally 3/4 of the length of the court and make it hop. Guy was like,
I saw it one time. I used to work Ernie's camps at South County, and one time during dead time, it was all about Ernie. His ego was very important.
Oh my God! Yeah,
we're at Ernie D camp. He thought people showed up to watch him like shoot free throws. They
9 out of 10. Yep.
We were babysitting. 89% of the kids just were there for the babysitting aspect. 5% wanted to learn, and the other 5 didn't even know where they were. But here comes Ernie. We're doing the lunchtime foul shot thing. So he's making, I don't know what he makes, 100 in a row, some ungodly number.
Yep.
This is one, yells at the passer. Swear to God, as soon as he missed it, the ball, I said here, he's doing this shit. Oh, yeah, the kid was like 11 years old. Kid just got done throwing 150 chest passes to this freaking old man. But he was, I wish I got to see him at North Providence, but that was before my time.
9 out of 10 free throws with a blindfold. We put a blindfold on him. He fucking came out of the coaching room with a blindfold. We're running practice. We're just doing our drills. Why has he got a blindfold? Like, what's going on? He walks down to the other. He stands at the free throw line on the other side. And then he starts asking for passes. And we're like, what is this about? Watch me take 10 free throws. And they're all net. He missed one. But, I mean, they were all net. They're not even like rim, a couple. But just look, dude. He carries around a blindfold. I don't know how else to explain it to you. Just for that reason, that prop. He's like the Carrot Top of local basketball players.
The question is,
ready to go.
What I don't know how that makes the team better when a coach does that shit. Every now and then I'll put usually one practice early in the season. I'll pretend we're doing a rebounding drill and I'll go ahead and make like 20 shots in a row just so they all know that I still know what the fuck I'm doing. But I have played for coaches where it was more about watch the coach play. Like, all right, we're gonna play zone. You knew if the coach was stretching, like, okay, he's gonna play. He's gonna be on the offense. We're all gonna play defense so he can take his threes. I hated that shit. I really did.
Yeah, I don't.
Ernie's ego was big as them all.
And you know what? It just really quick. It bleeds over to what we all know about rec league. Rec league is awful when the coach thinks he's either a general manager with little kids, or in practice, all he does is scrimmage and he plays. That's like, what are you teaching the kids? Nothing. You know why? Because most of these parents that are playing basketball and just shooting around, they're horrible. So they're not even learning anything from playing with you. That bothered me. That you know what? Coaches should not be allowed to do that. At the end, they should have certain times set, but they should not be allowed to just scrimmage the whole time with the kids. Ray, would you agree?
Yeah, no, it's not a good example. I mean, I've had coaches too, the same thing. They'll get on, they're running the fast break, and you're like, this just isn't right. Like, you know, and if you're defending the coach, you feel funny, right? You don't want to hard foul your coach. You're not going to be playing the next couple of nights. But, yeah, I mean, you got to draw the line. I can see showing somebody technique, but come on, get off the floor. Those days are over.
I had a really good group at Woonsocket one year, like a real mature group, and whatever we did, there was a bet going into the game where if they won the game, I had to go through one of my practices because they always said my practices were hard. And they're like, Coach, if we win, if we go to South Kingston and win, you are practicing tomorrow. So, of course, on the bus, I'm a friggin' all-star. Yeah, I'll be at practice tomorrow. 15 minutes into that effing thing, my whole body seized up. Like, all right, this is not for me. The kids got to laugh. Pam brought pizza, and that was fun. I must say that was fun.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, I would end up hurting one of the kids. Like I would end up contesting a shot look, I'm going to end with this. My son is now 17, going to be a senior next year. He's going to be the starting point guard for the Cougars, which I'm proud of. However, when he was like maybe 8 and like 3-4 feet tall, me and him got challenged to a 2-on-2 against my other brother, Jesse, and his stepson, who's like 6'1". So after trying to play us, and they weren't really winning because even Mike at like 4th grade was better than Jesse, they started to put Alex just standing under the rim with Mike covered. Jesse would throw it to him. Alex would catch it and just put it off the glass. That's how they won. But that wasn't the highlight of the game. Here was the highlight of the game. And my son will tell the exact same story. I'm playing Alex because he's so tall. And Mike is out on Jesse, right? My brother Jesse, for some reason, feels the need to shake my son, who's in 4th grade, go around him, right? As he's coming towards me. He's driving full head of steam. And I'm thinking, I don't know what his goal is, but here he comes. He starts to take off. Now, you guys got to understand this is very important. Where the block is, the box on the free throw line, he took off before there. He starts to jump in the air as if he's going to do something, as if he was able to dunk or even do a layup. Like, it made no sense. Even Mike was like, why did he leave his feet? Like, where was he jumping to? Because I was out there. Even if I wasn't there, he would have dropped. Oh, my bad. He would have dropped before he made it to the TV. I mean, to the rim.
That was perfect.
So what happened was, I'm standing there. I'm gonna hold it. I'm standing there and I'm waiting. It feels like I'm waiting like a century for him to get there. He takes off. I'm watching him. I'm like, wow, he really thinks he's gonna make it someplace. He really thinks like there's a goal here. I jump up. I'll keep it like that for now. All I did was put my arm up like this, straight up. I didn't jump out. I just jumped up. He hit me. I heard a crack sound, and then he fell and smashed his head on the concrete. He broke his nose on my arm, and then fell and smacked his head. The one thing my mother told me before I left was, don't hurt your brother. Don't hit him in the head. Do not hurt him. And I go, I'm not going to hurt him.
Now, wait a minute. Now, Jesse's not here, so I will contest what he says. He says you took him out. You Rodman him. You took him right out. This is what he said.
I mean,
it's not my fault that we're different sizes. He couldn't get through me, and he's not going to go over me. I jumped straight up like this, and he hit me right here.
I don't know. I got you on the record talking about the physicality of the 80s. I got like 50 hours of footage of you talking about the physicality of the 80s, and then you just described laying your brother out and busting his nose. That's what I got.
No, I was very physical. I tried to be as physical as I possibly. I was a cheater, actually, at some points, but not with him. That's not true. Because you can ask my son. He was going to go, I don't know what he's going to do, Air Jesse or something. But they did win the game because Alex is 6'1", and Mike was 4'1". So needless to say, Mike wants the rematch. You guys get anything you want to say before we wrap it up?
No, I mean that's I can't top any of that, buddy. I don't think I could say anything that can top that. What about you, Coach?
Yeah, I just wish the focus was on the NBA, and not who's tweeting about what. Hopefully, as with the season winds down, we get into the playoffs. Everybody will. What's the line? Shut up and dribble. It wouldn't be bad for the game if everybody could come on board and give us a good tournament.
And we can hope for teams like the Jazz to take the Lakers out maybe and mix it all up. I'm just depressed with this whole CBS basketball thing, this goddamn fantasy basketball. All right. This is Legit Fantasy Basketball. Thank you for watching. Our next show is on Sunday, right, Ray? It's Legit Fantasy Football at 11. And then at night on this Sunday at 7 o'clock, we have, I forget his first name, but he's the head of the East Coast Bigfoot Hunting Foundation. Something like that. I love Bigfoot stuff. So that'll be a good show at 7. So, for Brother Ray and Coach TJ, it's me, Mike Lepre. This is Legit Fantasy Basketball from LegitFantasySports.com. Please click the like button. Please leave us a comment. Have a great night.